When we begin the third week of Lent in the Catholic Church, we're in this weird situation where, depending on which church you go to, you might hear different readings. That's because for churches who have catechumens, that means people who are preparing to be baptized at the Easter Vigil, for weeks 3, 4, and 5 of Lent, you do something called the scrutinies. You read the same passages from the Gospel of John every year. They're the story of the Samaritan woman at the well, the healing of the blind man, and the raising of Lazarus. And so this weekend, depending on what church you belong to, you might hear that story of the Samaritan woman at the well. I think these scrutinies are so important because the church has decided that for people who are just being baptized, just entering the body of Christ, these are the final messages they should hear. The story of the woman at the well is an incredible one. And just like most Bible stories, it has a much deeper meaning, a much more profound and universal significance than is obvious at first glance. So you may remember the story. It begins with Jesus approaching this woman in Samaria and asking for a drink. Now, little Bible history lesson, it's going to be important this weekend. Samaria is what was previously called the northern kingdom of Israel. You see, after the reign of King Solomon, Israel split into two nations. Judah in the south, the southern kingdom where Jerusalem is, and Israel in the north, where the Samaritans are from. When Jesus is conversing with this Samaritan woman, it comes out that she has been married and divorced 5 different times. Obviously, you see the connection there. Now, the people from the southern kingdom, the people from Jerusalem, the people from Jesus' homeland despised people from the north. And you kind of get a little bit of that animosity in this reading. They thought that they didn't practice the religion properly, that they were pagans, that they worshipped false gods. And the feeling was mutual. So the significance of this story, where Jesus, who begins a conversation by asking for a drink, offers this woman life-giving water. A water that will quench that deep spiritual thirst within her, isn't just about his encounter with one single person. It is about him breaking down a long-standing barrier. It is about him offering a salvation to a group of people that were long thought to be a lost cause, to be heathens, to have turned away from God. It is Jesus offering true hope and salvation in a moment of division and hatred. And it works. We hear that this woman goes back to her village, and many people are convinced of this life-giving water that Jesus offers. I think it's so significant that this is one of the scrutinies, that this is one of the final messages people are supposed to hear before they enter the Catholic Church, about the power of Christ's life-giving water, even in the midst of division, maybe even especially in the midst of division, to transform, to renew, to give life, break down old barriers.